The Canadian economy, already contending with inflation, tariffs, and a cost of living crisis, is also watching a steady and ongoing slump in the housing market.
Canadians are already paying some of the highest internet prices in the world, and for some of us, it's about to get even more expensive.
For a long time, Canada was a dream for many people, a place to start a new life, a place to feel safe. People from all over the world came here with hope in their hearts. They believed that if they worked hard, they could build a good life for themselves and their families. But today, something is wrong. Many people, especially young people, feel like their dreams are falling apart. They feel like living here is becoming impossible. This isn't just about a few people being unhappy. It's a widespread feeling, a deep sense of frustration. It's a feeling that the promise has been broken. People are working harder than ever, but their lives are not getting better. They see the gap between the dream and the reality getting wider every day.
The Canadian economy, already contending with inflation, tariffs, and a cost of living crisis, is also watching a steady and ongoing slump in the housing market.
The first big problem is the cost of a home. Maybe you want to rent an apartment, or maybe you want to buy a house. In Canada, both are now very, very expensive. For many, the idea of owning a home feels completely out of reach. It's a dream that most young people have already given up on. This chart shows how high prices have gone. The line just keeps going up and up. In big cities like Toronto and Vancouver, it's almost impossible for a normal person to buy a house. A few years ago, it was difficult. Now it's a whole different story. The average price of a house is so high that it would take a huge portion of your entire life's earnings just to buy one. Why are houses so expensive? There are two main reasons.
From January to June, pent-up demand plus a supply shortage led to double-digit price gains in the GTA, Hamilton, Regina.
The first is that we don't have enough houses. For many years, Canada didn't build enough homes for everyone. The government knows this. They say Canada needs 3.5 million more homes by 2030. That's a huge number. It's like trying to build a whole new city in a few years. It's a massive structural problem that has been building up for decades. The construction process is slow, expensive, and faces many roadblocks. We are in a deep hole, and it's hard to climb out.
Statistics Canada reports that 23% of the country's population are immigrants, breaking the previous record of 22.3% in 1921.
The second reason is that a lot of people are moving to Canada. Over the last few years, a lot of new people came here. This is good for Canada because it brings in new talent and new ideas. But it also means more people need a place to live. And if there are more people than homes, prices go up. It's a basic rule of economics, and it's hitting the average Canadian family very hard. So, if you are a young person trying to find a home, it feels like a never-ending fight. Even renting an apartment is a big problem. The rental vacancy rate in 2024 was just 2.2%. That means there are almost no empty apartments to rent. It's a take-what-you-can-get situation, and the prices keep going up. Many people are forced to spend more than half of their income on rent alone, leaving very little for anything else. This is a quiet crisis, and it's happening in every city across the country.
It's only up slightly, but Canada's inflation rate is forcing everyone to make their dollars stretch further.
Sarah Stevenson is packing up her Kitsilano apartment, getting ready to move to Chilliwack with her husband. She says Vancouver has become just too expensive to keep up.
Even if you have a home, your money doesn't go very far. This is our second problem. Your money is getting weaker. In Canada, inflation has been very high. Things like gas and food cost so much more than before. The government says the country is getting richer, but that's not the full story. You see, a country's wealth can be measured by something called GDP per person. This number has been going down in Canada for 2 years in a row. It means that while the country's economy is growing, the average person is not feeling any better. In fact, they are feeling poorer. Imagine a giant cake. The cake is getting bigger, but the slices for each person are actually getting smaller. That's what's happening in Canada.
Canada has an innovation and productivity problem. It's getting worse and will hit our ability to pay for our priorities.
The Bank of Canada even called this a productivity emergency. This is a serious problem. It means that companies and workers aren't creating enough new value. This makes it hard to earn more money, and it makes it hard for your pay to keep up with the high cost of living. People are working just as hard or even harder, but they are not seeing the results in their own lives.
Canadians are already paying some of the highest internet prices in the world, and for some of us, it's about to get even more expensive.
The fire took her home, but spared her horses and other the equivalent of 5 football fields.
Also, many industries in Canada are dominated by a few big companies. This is called an oligopoly. This lack of competition means these companies can keep prices high for things like phone service, internet, and banking. We pay some of the highest fees in the world for these essential services. These high fixed costs, combined with high food and gas prices, are creating a crushing burden on the average Canadian family. So, you have less money to spend on things you need. Your paycheck might be a little bigger, but the price of food, gas, and clothes is a lot bigger. You're losing this fight.
Wait times at hospitals are up drastically from last year and even last month.
This is not just about money. Our third problem is about the services we need every day, like healthcare. Canada's healthcare system is famous. It's a symbol of what makes Canada a great country, but it's also facing a big problem. It's overwhelmed. Because so many people have moved here, hospitals and clinics are very busy. People have to wait for a long time to see a doctor. In some cases, waiting times for important surgeries are even longer than they were in 2019. It's not just a small delay. For some, it's a matter of life or death. The healthcare professionals are doing their best, but the system itself is at its breaking point. This is a serious sign. When a country's services can't keep up with its population, the quality of life goes down. Even if you have a job and a home, what's the point if you can't get good healthcare when you need it? It's a fundamental promise that is not being met. The feeling of safety that Canada once offered is slowly fading away as people worry about getting sick or having an emergency.
Dan Donkers, the operations manager, says the demand for their back-to-school fundraiser keeps growing.
This isn't just a problem in hospitals. Schools are also getting more crowded, and public transit is struggling to keep up with the number of riders. The basic infrastructure of the country is under immense stress. It's like a house built for one family trying to fit in 3. Everything starts to break down. So, why did all of this happen? As we said, it's not just one thing. It's a triple problem: low productivity, fast population growth, and not enough competition in the market. These 3 issues created a perfect storm that is now hurting the average Canadian. The government made some choices that seemed good at the time, but they have had unintended consequences. But there is some good news. The government knows there is a problem. They are trying to fix it. They are finally starting to listen to the people's concerns. For example, the government has announced a new plan.
Here at Toronto Metropolitan University, among all first-year students, there's been a noticeable drop of international students.
In 2025, they will allow fewer international students to come to Canada. They set a specific limit of 437,000 permits. This will slow down population growth. The number of non-permanent residents has already started to decrease for the first time in a long time. This is a direct response to the pressure on the housing market and public services. Also, they are trying to help build more homes.
Federal government announcing it is injecting $13 billion into new affordable housing projects, launching Build Canada Home.
These new policies are a good start. The government is offering financial help to builders who focus on rental properties. This will hopefully speed up the construction of new homes. The effects are already being seen. In some cities, the price of rent is starting to stop rising so fast. The number of empty apartments is going up a little bit. It's a small change, but it's a sign that things might get better. However, the bigger problems are still here. The housing shortage and the productivity problem will take a long time to fix. It's a big ship, and it takes time to change its direction. For things to truly get better, the government and the people need to focus on long-term solutions. We need to build more homes, not just talk about it. We need to make our economy more competitive and more productive. We need to invest in our infrastructure and social services. So, is Canada impossible to live in? For a young person in a big city with a small income, it can certainly feel that way. It's a big challenge. The daily struggle with high costs and a lack of services is a heavy burden. But this video is not here to tell you to give up. It is here to give you the facts, because understanding the problem is the first step to solving it. The power to change things is in our hands. By knowing what's happening, we can ask for changes. We can ask our leaders to build more homes, to fix our economy, and to help everyone have a better life. The future of this country depends on us. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. We will keep following this story so you can stay informed. Thank you for watching.